The important thing about hazard identification, and I refer back to that snake that we saw a little bit earlier, that snake picture. It's important for me to see the hazard, because if I cannot see the hazard, I cannot give it a name. I cannot identify it. Maybe I don't know the name of the object. But if I cannot see it, I can't point it out to somebody else and say, please tell me what this is. I don't know what you call it. I can see it's a big blue thing, or it's a thing with a turning wheel on the end, and it's causing a lot of sparks. What is this called? So if I can't see something, I can't identify it. I can't describe it. I can't give it a name. Now, the problem with not giving something a name is that I want to learn something more about this hazard that I've identified. And if I don't know how to describe it, if I can't give it a name, how do I ask people about it? What do I type into Google so that I can get more information? How do I go to somebody and say, tell me about an angle grinder, tell me about a welding machine, tell me about sulfuric acid? So it's very important that, firstly, I can see it. But once I see it, I must be able to somehow identify it. Read the label, take a picture, take it to somebody else that can tell me what this is. Because if I can't identify it, if I can't get a name, I can't get more information about this. I don't know what it is, so I don't know what the physical properties is. I don't know what you are supposed to use this for. I can't find the user instructions. I can't find the safety instructions. And I am left to my own devices to learn about this thing. Now, if I can't analyze it, I can't understand this. And as I'm trying to understand this on my own, I will probably find out that there are some things about it that I can't control. And if I can't control it, then it may harm me. And so it happens that we learn many lessons through experimentation and failure. Unfortunately, for some people, those experiments causes their death and causes serious injury. It's just one of those things. So important in hazard identification. If I want to have a good health and safety management system, I must see the hazards. If not myself, then I must take a group of people and we see the hazards. Once we see them, we identify it. Once we identify it, we go and get information around this and we analyze it. Once we analyze it for how it may hurt us and how we may use this, we then can understand this. And because we understand this, we can then put controls in place. Okay. A simple technique to see hazards is what we call ABBY. It's just an acronym. It's just a shortening. What does ABBY stand for? It's above. People have a tendency, and especially if you wear a hard hat, that you don't often look up. We tend to look in front of us. So an important aspect, if you are looking for hazards, is that you tilt your head back and you look above you. There may be overhead cranes, there may be suspended loads, there may be structure just above you. So I need to look above things. Sometimes people put stuff on top of cabinets, on top of shelves. So I need to look above my eye level. I need to look what's happening. Especially, if you're in forestry or an overhead environment or in a confined space, you need to see what's happening above you. The second letter of ABBY is B, below. Look below you. Look in front of your feet. Look under cupboards. Look below things, below covers, below roofs. Be careful when you pick up rocks and steel and whatever for what lives below some of these items. But what we need to do is we need to look below things. Sometimes below manholes, be no covers. Just make sure that you can do that safely when you do the risk assessment. Do not open stuff that you don't understand. Okay? We also need to look beyond things and behind things. Often what happens is we have a nice area where we tend to circulate just this one area. And what people do is they learn, and then what they do is they go and stack all the old furniture and unused equipment and the unsafe stuff. They will go and put it behind some shed, behind a wall, there in the back of the yard where nobody is walking. There, they put it beyond your normal walking areas. Behind things. So look behind things. People put things behind and beyond. Also look inside. Once again, do not open stuff that if you don't know what's going to happen. But look inside cupboards, inside boxes, inside cavities. See what's happening inside those places where people are hiding things or storing things, or where things may be happening that is not so visible. If you use these 4 words as an acronym, you will find that you actually see quite a lot more physical objects, which we then call hazards. Some other tips for hazard identification. When you see something, identify everything by name. If you can't give it a name, get somebody that can help you give it a name. If you can't give it a name right now, take a photograph if you're allowed to. And take that photograph to somebody and say, what is this? If you can, photograph things like labels, tags, anything that you can use, safety instructions to help you with the information that you need to understand this hazard. That brings us to the end of this section. Remember, identify everything physical, even if you can't see it and you know it should be there as a result of combustion or something else, or is a high likelihood that there might be invisible and odorless gases. Good luck in hazard identification.